The summer movie season's coming to a close, school is starting back up. That means it's time for me to stop and give you the 10 movies I'm most excited for the rest of 2018. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Sean Chandler, and I started this channel because I was driving everyone around me crazy talking about movies way too much. If you can relate to that you like to talk about movies more than the people around you, you just might belong here. With that in mind, go ahead and tell me down below in the comment section which movies this fall are you most excited about. I'd love to hear your picks. With that said, let's get started. My 10th most anticipated movie of the fall is Venom. Now, I have no idea if this movie's gonna be good or bad, but the fact that Tom Hardy is in it has me very curious. He's one of these actors that isn't always in good movies, but the roles he takes always have something interesting about them. So the fact that he chose to be in this comic book blockbuster has me very curious about what this movie's going to be, and the trailers have only affirmed the fact that this is going to be a very interesting film. It's either gonna be awesome or it's going to be awful. It's going to be one of the best comic book movies of the year, or it's going to be
like a turd in the wind.
Number 9 is Bumblebee. Like most people, I haven't been the biggest fan of the recent Transformers movies, but based off the first trailer, it seems like they've actually listened to the audience and they've started to make a bit of a course correction. Instead of relying on explosions and jokes aimed at 14-year-old boys,
I am directly below the enemy scrotum.
and shots of hot girls leaning over vehicles or running in slow-mo, it seems like this movie's more story and character-centric. So thus far, based off the trailers, I'm actually getting pretty excited about this movie. At number 8 is Peppermint. Now, this movie wasn't on my radar at all until about 6 weeks ago, and if you haven't heard about it, essentially it's a revenge action thriller starring Jennifer Garner, and for me, as soon as I saw Jennifer Garner holding a gun, I was sold. From my perspective, she's needed to return to punching people in the face for about 10 years now. So the idea of Garner going full Punisher gets 1 thumb up from me. It's also from the director of Taken, so it gets 2 thumbs up from me. Now here's hoping that the movie can actually deliver on the promise of Sidney Bristow going full Brian Mills. Number 7 is First Man. It's the latest film from Damien Chazelle, the director of La La Land and Whiplash, and it tells the story of Neil Armstrong in the lead up to the Apollo 11 mission. Now, if you haven't seen Whiplash, he manages to take something as ordinary as competitive drumming and craft one of the most tense and compelling movies I have ever seen. And if he can do that with something as mundane as competitive drumming, just imagine what he can do with Ryan Gosling and the story of the race to the moon. 6 is Halloween. The latest revival of the Halloween franchise ignores all of the sequels, all of the mythology that was established in those sequels, and is a direct follow-up to the original film. With Jamie Lee Curtis returning and John Carpenter being a creative consultant and working behind the scenes on it, I'm very curious how they're bringing this classic slasher franchise back to the screen with some modern sensibilities. Before we go into the top 5, here are my 5 runner-ups. Bohemian Rhapsody, the story of Queen and Freddie Mercury. Fantastic Beasts, the crimes of Grindelwald, the latest film in the wizarding world. Holmes and Watson, a satirical take of Sherlock Holmes. Mary Poppins Returns, the return of Mary Poppins. And A Star is Born, a movie directed by Bradley Cooper. Bringing us into the top 5 is Ralph Breaks the Internet. The original was so fun and charming, and based off the trailers thus far, it seems like the magic is still there. And with the addition of Star Wars and the Disney princesses and the internet, it just seems like they're taking the pop culture references and cranking it up to 10. But I gotta say, I hate the title of this movie. Still, I'm sure it's gonna be great. At number 4 is The Predator. The original Predator is one of my favorite movies of all time, and this go round they got the great and always interesting Shane Black to write and direct. Fun fact, he acted in the original Predator. Add to that, they got a great set of actors to fill out the cast. Still, I'm a little bit nervous because the trailers thus far haven't wowed me. Remember to tell me your most anticipated down below in the comment section. Also, after this video is over, check out this playlist above. It's my ranking of each franchise with a new release coming out this fall. That way you can know where I stand on the franchise before the new one hits. Bringing us into the top 3 is Aquaman. Obviously, the DCU's reputation with both critics and audiences is a little bit spotty, but with James Wan behind the camera in a scandal-free production, I've actually got my hopes pretty high for this one. I know some people are saying the CGI looks fishy. I know people are saying it looks like Black Panther in the ocean. I don't care about any of that. I dug the trailer, and I'm hoping for another great DC movie. Our runner-up is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. When they first announced this movie, I thought it sounded bizarre, but as time has passed and they've put out more footage, more trailers, it has certainly piqued my curiosity. In particular, because the graphic design and animation look awesome. And also beyond that, this seems like a new way to be able to tell riskier comic book stories about lesser known characters to the general public. So this movie has me very curious about what they're trying to do, and I'm very interested to see how the general audience and critics respond to it. But my most anticipated movie for the rest of 2018 is Creed 2. Now, I'm kind of nervous about this one because Ryan Coogler didn't return to direct it because he did some little movie for some little movie studio that I hear turned out all right for him. But the Rocky franchise is one of my favorite movie franchises of all time. Rocky Balboa is probably my favorite character of all time, and Creed was awesome, so this is an easy #1 most anticipated of the fall. Remember to check out that playlist over there to the left with all my rankings of the franchises with new releases coming out this fall, and thank you for watching.